Here comes the one and only Malaikottai Buddymeister. Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage.
And I'm Deniz, the Buddymeister.
We have reviewed more than 500 Indian movies on the channel. And today's movie was once again picked directly for us by one of our awesome Masala Meister tier supporters. Sujit PS has chosen the 2024 Malayalam language epic fantasy action drama Malaikottai Vaaliban. And I'm very happy that this movie was picked because it's from one of our favorite directors. I'm certainly not a fan of all of his films, but I definitely find all of his films at least interesting because he's a filmmaker that always brings something new and fresh and different to his films. And of course, I'm talking about Lijo Jose Pellisserry. Buddy, who is in his last movie, Malaikottai Vaaliban, and what is the movie all about?
The movie starring Mohanlal, Danish Sait.
Yes.
And I forgot to write down the other actors.
Harish Piradi.
Yep.
Manoj Moses. Kata
What's
Nandi.
wrong with me?
Sonali Kulkarni.
Why? Great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. This movie was a box office bomb.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, obviously. It only earned half of what it cost.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
But was it very expensive? Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think it wasn't cheap. So, I
Yeah.
mean, maybe it also bombed in a way because they, like, expected so much more. Because Mohanlal, because of Pellissery, yeah. But yeah, like you said, it was released in January this year and was premiered on streaming only 4 weeks later. So I'm not sure if they, like, planned it ahead to put it to streaming, or if it was, like, a decision they took because they were like expecting more from the cinema release. But yeah, what's the movie about? A wandering fighter called Malaikottai Vaaliban wanders from village to village, taking part in fights and winning accolades. As he and his friends meet new people on the way, his life takes turns that he didn't expect.
Nice. Yeah, this is a movie that's very like Western-like.
Yeah.
I felt a little bit of a Sergio Leone, Ennio Morricone vibe from this
Little
one.
bit, yeah.
Yeah, a
lot.
lot. Also, like samurai influences.
Yeah.
And honestly, I know I was a big fan of this movie.
What? You what?
I really like this movie a lot.
Yeah?
Until I wasn't a fan anymore. We will talk about that later. I think,
oh man, we are so boring. I think it's the same with me.
Because the last act or the climax,
Yeah.
we will talk about that. But up until that point, I really dug this movie.
Yeah.
I really, go.
Yeah, no. But the thing is, I think for maybe half an hour or so, or let's say the first half, I thought this is a masterpiece. I thought this was a great movie.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, what's to say about the visuals? The movie is beautiful.
Yeah.
The movie is beautiful. It's maybe too beautiful sometimes. So it's like
I wrote, this is a movie that hasn't a dull shot in it.
Yeah. I mean, too beautiful is strange to say, but you know, all these visuals, it's like a drug almost, yeah. And so maybe it can be too much for someone, but I thought the first half was great, a feast for the eyes.
Yep.
Not only that, I mean, that the images, the colorful images that just looked good on the surface, they also had like a depth to them. There was a lot going on. You could read a lot into some of these shots, most of these shots, and I think the thing that I liked so much about the first half is that I totally dug this. The wandering fighter who's like going from place to place, and we are in this mythical world that we like can pin down, everybody comes from somewhere, different languages, different people, different things happening. And I like that we couldn't pin these things down. I like that we are just in this fairy tale realm where things are happening just like a road movie adventure story or something, you know?
I also thought this is a very road movie-like. And what really sucked me in was this peculiar, rather slow, but nonetheless kind of hypnotic and very playful pacing and vibe. Mm-hmm. It's very unique, the feel of the film. And like you said, the cinematography is extraordinary. It was shot by Madhu Neelakandan, and I think it's one of the most beautiful shot movies in recent years.
Yeah.
It's spectacular. And you could maybe call this movie like style over substance.
Yeah.
But with this one, the style is so great, and it's there is more to it, and you, like you said, you can read something into it. And I also like just that it's not really so much like story driven. It's just like, we go from this place to that place, and on the way we meet new people. And in the beginning I thought, I hope it's not too episodic.
Yeah.
But then I really like that the people we meet are important in the movie. So they are coming back later, and they play an important role later on. And everyone we meet, or maybe not everyone, but most of the people we meet, these are our characters, and they play a role in the story. And I really like just, it's like a hangout movie also. It's just like really, really chill.
Yeah,
and cool.
we as audience, we just get thrown in.
Yeah,
and I like that. So the movie starts, I mean, almost immediately. There's like this first shot where we see like the donkeys that circle this, I think it's a mill or something.
Yep.
And then we hear the screaming of the guy who always says, Malaikottai Vaaliban, greatest fighter ever, here he's come. And we're in it.
Yeah.
We're in it. So what is going on here? And then it takes some time, and the movie builds this mythological world where we like, okay, fighter meets fighter, myth, legend meets legend of this area. And at first I thought, hey, that's great. I don't need depth anymore. I don't need more depth. So at the beginning I thought that's great.
Yeah.
They built something different here.
Yeah. It's very stylish. And it's done through, like we said, the camera work, but also the editing, the sound design, and the way the music is used, like the drums. It's pretty gorgeous. It really sucks you in. Also the locations, the performances are great. And like I said, this slow kind of meditative pacing, this almost like dreamlike, epic, and yet chill vibe the movie has. I really liked all of that. I quickly realized the actual story might not be that interesting or intense or anything. It's not really a tense movie, but it's just about this aged warrior and his adventures.
Yeah,
it also reminded me, because it's so stylish, it reminded me of movies like 300. Only that in 300 a lot is done with like CGI. And this is all, maybe not all, but a lot of it is done with just the locations and how gorgeous they look.
Yeah,
it's really great.
Good staging and the right colors. I was reminded of The Fall by Tarzan Singh.
Yeah,
which of course also lives mainly through its visuals.
Yep. So, but more about the story. I was very happy that the primary romance in this movie wasn't about Mohanlal's character.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a little bit with his character, especially in the beginning. But the main romance plot is for his like young Padawan, or like this guy who comes along with him. And I thought that romance was also really sweet. We actually reacted to a song.
I remember
the movie came out, and that is just such a beautiful and fresh and different song, and I don't think there's a lot of dancing in it, but just the whole sequence is so great. The soundtrack was composed by Prashant Pillai, and I liked all the songs.
There's this one song later on, Rak, where he's talking, where he's singing about arak, the drink that they make, and he's like, and even Mohanlal is doing some dance moves. And I was thinking, have I ever seen Mohanlal dancing? I'm not sure. Maybe I have,
Probably.
but it's kind of a nice scene where they sit all together in these circles and he's singing about alcohol, and that was my favorite song.
And there's also the song and dance sequence with the whole plot in the fortress.
Yeah, of course.
With the dancer, and that's also like really, it's kind of a juxtaposition to the historical setting, because the soundtrack is very like experimental at times, and they are trying different things, but it really fits, and it's really. Yeah. I was really surprised actually by this movie because it has a rather.
I was expecting something completely different almost.
Yeah, and I was also expecting something that's not working at all, because the critics and also the audience didn't really vibe with the movie all that much. And from the get-go, I was just really into it. And another thing that we maybe need to talk about, besides the songs, are the fight scenes. This is again a movie that has so much slow motion. Yeah. And without the slow motion, maybe the movie would be like half an hour shorter. But it's done so stylishly that I really dug it. I thought the fight scenes, again, there's not much tension. You kind of know that Mohanlal's character is winning this. Yeah. But the way it's shot, it's like maybe like wuxia cinema, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like Mohanlal walks up I don't know,
flies around, and
and it's really just really nice. I don't know, it was really
also because it works so well because we changed locations also where the fights take place. So the first fight is in the middle of the desert, and the second fight is in this big tent. Yeah. With all the weapons. I was also like reminded of what's the name now? Virgata, that movie with Mammootty, that old movie. Olu Vadakan Virgata. So this like we have different weapons. Take a weapon, and so there's the tent, and later on he's in this fortress with all the stuff. So we always get a new location. Yeah. To keep things fresh. The movie is really like fresh from beginning to maybe not the end. We will come back to that, but Lijo Jose Pellisserry is just a filmmaker that is bringing so much like little ideas that it's just great to watch. In the beginning, when he's coming to a village, and there's this the warrior of that village, and I think he's doing something with eggs. And then someone tells him, there's someone who wants to fight you. And he just throws the eggs away. It's all in one shot. And it's just fun. And then he runs, and it's just fun. And I was thinking at the beginning, maybe this is the kind of movie where there's great scene after great scene after great scene. And it almost was like that. It kept surprising me with great stuff. And and the thing is, now that you said it so much, it was a fun scene. I thought this movie had, especially in the first half, had kind of this comedic undertone.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wasn't, later on, I wasn't sure if the movie wanted to be funny because it's like getting more serious towards the end. But there is also this scene like when he was coming to in the second chapter, when he's coming to the tent, to the second fight. And there's also like, we get to know Chamatakan, the bad guy, the son. Yeah, and the lord lady that's also like there, and and when they say, okay, tomorrow we will be here fighting, and then there's this guy drumming. Then on the other side, he's also drumming. Like, what is this? And then there's the third guy waving with the red flag in the middle. I thought, what is this? A joke? So I mean, in a deliberate joke because it's fun how this whole this is kind of a satirical thing with this. These two guys, okay, fight it out. Yeah. So I thought it was nicely done.
The movie is a lot of fun. I mean, the big bad guy in this has like half of his head shaved and half of his beard is missing. Yeah. And the villain is also a total psychopath. Yeah. He has this crazy laugh.
And something like this.
And then he stabs everyone around him. Yeah. And he's really crazy. But it's fun. And this whole movie is like a big comic book come to life. Yeah. And I really enjoyed it. Now, unfortunately...
now it comes the...
Now, unfortunately, the last chapter of the movie, the actual climax of the film, didn't really work for me.
So when does it start for you? Because
I think it starts. The last chapter is this festival.
Okay, because for me it almost started earlier.
Really?
When they are in this fortress with these colonizers. I thought it was so,
into that.
Yeah, it was interesting, but somehow I thought this was the first time when the movie lost some steam and had like this I thought the weirdness was kind of nice, but also too weird sometimes. And I thought, what is going on here? It's too much. So this was a little bit too like self-absorbed at the moment. Oh, that's maybe what I meant when I said too beautiful. The movie's doing a bit too much. It was like,
and then with all the cannons and stuff.
Yeah,
like
because
it was a
it's
bit
too long.
Also.
It's also like prolonged scenes with this 20-shot cannon on the tower. And I thought maybe that's a bit too much because what was lost for me at that point was that adventurous feeling. So we get from one place to another, and so there was it like we have to cram story into this thing. So yeah,
and also it's very big and almost like a climax.
Yeah,
the whole fortress scene,
and it goes on forever. I thought,
but still, I enjoyed it a lot because I thought it was really interesting or fun. Again, how he was drugged, and then they are on top, but no, they have a backup plan, and it was back and forth, and the action. Yeah, a lot of slow motion, maybe a little bit too much, but still a lot of fun. But for me, it really the turning point was the last chapter, the festival, because then the movie also tries more to be like a drama as well. And then we get this, by the way, spoiler alert, maybe from this point onwards.
Yes,
Spoilers. Again, visually fascinating, the whole festival scene. Yeah. But this whole misunderstanding and scheming part, that was really like for me too cliched and too unbelievable.
That whole love story triangle thing. Rangarani is the one who likes Malaikottai Vaaliban, but she gets tricked into thinking that he likes the girl who likes the young guy. And I think it's too much for that time. I thought it didn't fit the movie.
It didn't fit for me neither, and it didn't really work at all. And the movie tries to be more dramatic and serious, and then we get some death, and I was like, what kind of movie is this now? And it didn't really work. And then there is the very end. And which is basically yet again a teaser for a second movie that I don't know if that's ever going to happen.
That CGI thing at the end,
that was the worst.
So bad.
Yeah, that was thinking, really the worst. The movie is so beautiful. And then we get like this mythical figure, his father, I think, who's like a mutant. And it looks so cheap.
I really don't get why they did it this way. I mean, if they wanted like tease a second part, I think it even would have like fit better if they did some kind of like drawed animation or something, like something that fit this comical style of the movie. But this,
it looks really bad.
It looks really bad.
So it didn't work in any way.
No.
For once, this is like, there's another movie, but how about we do a good ending for this? Then it's enough. I really don't need like 5 movies now with this aged warrior. And also it was so simple and lean back, and now we have this stuff with the father who betrayed someone, and his friend isn't his friend, and all that stuff.
But the thing is that twist, that twist at least like had a kind of a profound element to it, where I thought maybe if you wanted to put a story into this movie, maybe it would have worked if you like put it earlier in the movie and not right until the end. We think, okay, now something interesting is happening, but the movie's over. So I thought that the twist or this thing, I thought, okay, you could have done something with that, but not in like 5 minutes when the end is coming. It was a bit strange because the movie was lacking this kind of, if it was lacking something story-wise, it was lacking this kind of like depth or this kind of soul that you can like hold on to, where you think, okay, this is really something about, and not just a thing that we liked. We liked. Now it looks beautiful. We like the adventures. We like how we go, but we don't really know these people. We don't really, emotional core. Maybe they could have done something with it, but they didn't. They wanted to do it in part 2.
They want to do it in part 2, and I think part 2 maybe isn't happening if this was a flop. And
I think because of the way that they like try to cram a story in there at the end, makes it even more like. Feel like a movie that is like thrown together. And I think if they hadn't done that, maybe it would have worked better as what it tried to be in the first half. Just this like
Yeah.
These beautiful pieces that work together, you know?
It's really unfortunate, and I really don't know. Maybe let's go with your. What would you say in German?
Okay, ja. Malaikottai Vaaliban hat mich über eine längere Strecke echt begeistert. Ein älterer Recke, der von Ort zu Ort schlendert und Abenteuer erlebt. Und das in diesen fantastischen Bildern. Was will man mehr? Leider aber geht dem Film dann doch die Puste aus und das schwache Drehbuch wird offengelegt.
Yeah, that's very true. Mit Malaikottai Vaaliban hat Lijo Jose Pellisserry wieder mal was ganz Eigenes geschaffen. Einen betörend schönen, träumerisch, meditativ chilligen Action Reigen, der mich toll unterhalten hat, bis er am Ende leider etwas auseinanderfällt und mit wenig überzeugendem Sequel Tease verpufft. Yeah, and I'm really now, it's so difficult to give this a rating because the stuff I liked, I really loved. It was amazing. Yeah. And but
when the page turns, it's like almost it's harder to like to forgive a movie that even if it is that
especially
beautiful.
With the ending. Maybe I would watch the movie again and then probably turn it off after the Fortress, and then I would
turn it off before the Fortress.
Fortress is Fortress is pretty spectacular.
Okay, yeah.
It's also the song and dance sequence.
It is spectacular. Fortress. Oh yeah, there is this strange song Shabnami that had this like weird sounding.
Yeah.
It was a Hindi song. It's also something. I mean, we're past our German part. But I said it at the beginning, I like that this movie has like this cultural mishmash because we have like Hindi song, we have a Malayalam song, we have Kannada actor, we have mainly a Marathi actress, Sonali Kulkarni, we have Mohanlal from the Malayalam industry, we have something from Tamil, so there's everything in there, even in that kind of strange song, Shabnabi.
Yeah, and there's also CGI from hell.
Yes, also mishmash.
But still, I thought the movie was fresh, interesting, fascinating, beautiful. I had so much fun, and therefore I still give Malaikottai Vaaliban 7 out of 10. It's more like 7.2, but I don't do that.
Okay.
You can give it whatever you...
I stick to my rating. It's a 6 out of 10. It's more like 6.3. But I don't do that either. So, Jimmy, do you want some more Mohanlal trivia?
Always.
Okay. In the last decade, so
4 years?
2010 to 2020, I think, Mohanlal starred in about 3 to 5 movies per year. Did you know that between 1980 and 1990, he starred in 170 movies?
A year. No. Yeah, I actually did know that.
Okay, but it's always nice to see how many films these people have done.
Yeah, absolutely. So please tell us in the comments below what you think about this very interesting movie. You can find us, follow us, and support us on patreon.com/thejimmycage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like.
Yeah, and I still want to say this is a movie I still would recommend everybody to watch and build your own opinion because it's really that fascinating. And if you want to get notifications, click the bell.